everyone, Squirrel Bait here, and welcome to Going Sideways, where we discuss current events that affect our preparedness and our freedoms. And I have an odd one for you today. It smells. As always. But this one's really odd, folks. The Sunspot Observatory, as well as the post office and surrounding area, has been evacuated. In fact, this happened on September 6th. It is now September 12th, and it's still closed. Why? Well, let's take a look at some of the articles here and some of the information that I have. And links to everything are down below, including links to the Facebook of the observatory and their website and stuff like that. So you can kind of keep an eye on this yourself as well, and I'll be watching it also. Just like I'm still watching that situation in California with the new gun legislation. I'm waiting to see if that is signed, and I haven't seen that it either has been signed or has been vetoed. I have seen no movement on that yet, but I'm watching it for you folks, don't worry. So, on to this one. Interesting. Okay, so this article is from the I'm going to butcher this, I'm sorry. Alamogordo Daily News. This is a nearby small city. Okay, so this is like the nearest place that you're going to get news out of. If you look at this area, it is in the middle of nowhere. So this is the Daily News, and it says it is part of the USA Today network. So that is the source of this article. And it is dated September 7th, 2018. And the Association of Universities for Research in Astronomy, who manages the facility, who is the NSF funded as well, National Science Foundation. Okay. Is addressing a security issue at this time. We have decided to vacate the facility as a precautionary measure. It was our decision to evacuate the facility. And she said she cannot comment on the specifics of the security issue. Now, keep that in mind, what she said there, okay? Now, the Apache Point Observatory is currently in operation. Now, that is just a mile away if you look at the map, okay? That is staying open. And it's literally right there. You can see from Google Maps, it's not that far away. So whatever's going on didn't affect that. And it will stay vacated until further notice. Keep that kind of in mind there. All right. And she said she couldn't comment on whether or not the FBI was involved. Well, turns out the Otero County Sheriff, Benny House, is talking a little bit. And he said that the sheriff's office was asked to stand by. And what the sheriff had to say is the FBI is refusing to tell us what's going on. We've got people up there at Sunspot that requested us to stand by while they evacuated it. Nobody would really elaborate on any of the circumstances as to why the FBI were up there, and their purpose was nobody would say. But the FBI got involved very quickly and has been very secretive about it. There's been a lot of stuff going on up there. There was a Black Hawk helicopter. A bunch of people around antennas. And work crews on towers. But nobody will tell us anything. Getting interesting now, huh? The Daily News contacted the Albuquerque FBI spokesman seeking comment for the story, but the telephone calls and messages were never returned. And the sheriff brought up a good point. They're not federal employees up there. The universities run this. This is a civilian facility funded by the government. But it is not a government installation, so to speak. There's civilians up there. And if you look, there's like little It's like a little town around it. You know, like a little, I wouldn't even call it a town. It's like a village. Okay? They evacuated the whole thing. They're not federal employees, says the sheriff. It may be somebody who threatened one of their workers, but if that were the case, why did they call us and let us deal with it? I don't know why the FBI would get involved so quickly and not tell us anything. It's got a good point. If there was a security threat, you know, workplace related, somebody who lives up in there went nuts, you don't need a Black Hawk helicopter. Keep the place evacuated for days and tell the sheriff to mind his own business. Interesting, huh? Yeah. Oh. Let's take a look at this one. This is from ABC 7 KVIA, titled National Solar Observatory, USPS, meaning the United States Postal Service, the local post office, in Sunspot, evacuated for, quote, safety reasons. The National Solar Observatory in Sunspot, New Mexico, and a nearby United States Postal Service office were evacuated due to security reasons. Again, on September 6th. Now, again, that post office is very close by, as you can see here on the Google map. So it's not like this was evacuated and the post office was evacuated at a distance due to a package that was received or a letter that was received that they're concerned about, you know, that may have contained something. Now, that is still possible. I suppose that is very possible that that is the situation. But the post office is like right there. Literally, if you look on the map, it's right there. So we have decided to temporarily vacate this facility as a precautionary measure. And we're working with the proper authorities on this issue. The proper authorities on this issue. Okay. A government agency, whether they are truly the FBI or another agency. It may not be the FBI. It could be NSA. It could be, you know how this works. So what we know between the sheriff and the reporters, forget the narrative that it's a security measure, because who knows? That's what they're saying, okay? Proper authorities. They word things very carefully. We know there's a government agency and a military presence of some degree with the helicopter, right? That's military. The feds. And at least a small military presence has taken over that town. That's what we know for sure. No idea why. And it's been since the 6th, and today is the 12th, and it's still going on. And nobody knows what's going on. Right now, we're told that they have temporarily evacuated the area. Not just the observatory, the post office. The area. And I've seen that a couple other places as well. And they won't tell us why. It says a spokesman for the USPS. Right now, what we're told is that they've temporarily evacuated the area. We haven't been told why or when that expires, said Rod Spurgeon, a spokesman with the USPS. Again, is it something biological? No idea. So on this Twitter, yes, this is the Twitter post from Sunspot Solar Observatory, talking about how they are closed. I will let you kind of take a look at that. See if you can see that. Talking about how they are working with the appropriate, proper authorities. So there is proof that these are not made-up news stories. They say it for themselves. This is off their website. So again, No one's making this up. This is right off their website. You can see that up here. And of course, I printed it. I always print certain things because you know how they have a tendency to later on, and everyone goes, I don't know what you're talking about. That never happened. So I have no idea what's going on. I've spent time on Google Maps looking around, seeing if there's anything like to the north of there because, and I think I mentioned that. I want to mention it again in case I did not. I believe I did. That, yes, I know I did. That slightly to the south, I think it's called the APO, Apache Point Observatory is still open. And it's like right there at the south. Look on the map. That's open. So whatever's going on is more than likely slightly to the north of Sunspot or in Sunspot. And I wish I lived nearby to go try to take a look and see, is it the whole thing cordoned off, you know, like a quarantine? You know, what's going on? This place is in the middle of nowhere. Kind of hard to get prying eyes up there, huh? So, I'll be keeping an eye on that. If I get any information, I'll let you know. But I have no idea. But something's going on. And you know when they don't want us to know, that's when we need to know. Question everything.